What's up, guys? Today we're doing Akeron, the newest hero in Predecessor. Now this guy is an absolute monster, and he will be in every single one of your games, if not banned, because he is deadly, he does tons of damage, good CC, can fly away and stick to walls like Spider-Man. This dude is a nut, and he's so freaking fun to play. But let's digress from that, and let's dive right into it. Now, this is 1.8, so anything past here is subject to change. Considered abilities to even items and all that little fine details. But starting off, there's two types of builds you could play. You could play super offensively, where you do tons of damage, or you could go where he's more intended, which is a more bruiser and tankier type of hero. He is meant to play in the jungle. You can kind of play him anywhere you want. You could play him in off lane, jungle. I mean, you can even play him as support. So kind of play him anywhere except mid, because he is just that good. But let's deep dive into the builds. Build 1 is my offensive build. It's Resolution, Mind Razor, Tainted Trident, Perforator, Infernum, and Basilisk. What this does is you shred all their armor and you just do straight damage. So you go in and you absolutely shred. So for example, we got good old Steel here. I'm a spider. I'm going to jump on him, drop my ball under him. Basic and just... I mean, that was full kit. That was full kit. Pretty disgusting, right? So this pretty much allows you to just nuke any squishy in the game. If there's a squishy, the squishy is gone. Look at that damage. Just that damage alone is huge. Ugh. If they're squishy, they're dead. Especially if you ult. If you ult...
Your essence belongs to me.
That's it. Unawakened. Here's it awakened.
I will tear your soul apart.
And you gotta remember, this Steel is gaining health. Like, it is like... gaining a ton of health. You could potentially almost to even one ability one shot a squishy with this guy. That's how insane it is. But that's his offensive build. If you want to do his more recommended build, which I personally recommend. Okay, sorry about this. Usually you go Warrior's Crest. I prefer Ice Talons on him, because the reason why you want to go Ice Talons is because when you deep dive in and you drop your Ice Talons, you get a slow all around you and you go right in with this character. So let's sell this build, and let's worry about his defensive build. His defensive build is more recommended. You're going to start off with Basilisk. After Basilisk, you could go Tainted. I prefer you guys go Tainted. Do not skip a Tainted item. You always need a Tainted item. Go Tainted Blade. Then go Dracum, Salvation. And then here's where it gets good. You could go Void Helm. What Void Helms does is off your abilities, it's going to heal you 20% more. And Acaron does heal off his abilities pretty good. So this is recommended. But let's say you want more offensive. That's where you can switch in and throw like Aegis of War on. Frostguard if they have a lot of attack speed. You know, this is where it gets situational. But for the build, we'll just do what's recommendedly taught to us. And finally, you always want to have Aegis of War on here, because you gain armor when you're below a certain amount of health, and while you're always around, you'll always have 10% more armor. It's meant for him, okay? Just throw it on there. Alright, here's what his combo looks like without the super offensive items. So it's not going to obviously hit as hard, but it still freaking eats, man. It still eats. Okay? Now that builds are out of the way, coming over here, what do you level first? Do I level up my ball? Do I level my spider web? My chomp? My ult? We're gonna get into that. So, okay. So, getting into it, as you level up, starting off at level 1, you're gonna put your abilities into the chomp. This chomp gives you damage, and it also heals you per hit. And if you're close, like, ready, look at the damage from far away, 166. Up close, 254. It does 1.5 times damage when you're up close. Also, another huge thing about it is it shreds armor close to enemies. So when you're close to them, 40% of your physical power, just shred that armor off of them. So you could shred, drop this, just eat them up. Ooh, look at that damage. Look at the damage. Look at the damage. Okay. I'm sorry I keep doing the combo over and over. I'm practicing while I do this guide. So you want to level up your Crushing Jaw. So you should, by level 6, you should have 3 points in Crushing Jaw, 1 point in the good old orb, and 1 point in your spider. Then when you hit level 6, you're going to put your 1 point into your alt, obviously. And then after that, you're going to level out your bite. The second ability you're going to max out second is your orb. This thing is nuts. Don't shoot it at somebody. Don't go, I got you, bro. No, no, no. Shoot it at the ground. It's nuts. Then after that, you know, you're obviously going to put points in your alt when you can. You're going to finish it off with the little spider jump. But this is usually your get out tool. You can web them as well. Let's say you have the cooldown where you get 2 of these. You can web them, which roots them, slows them, roots them, and then you can come in. It's completely up to you, man. You know, what do you prefer? How do you like to get in? Do you like to get in with a root, you know, or do you like to get in by diving in? Me personally, I like to dive. So if I come out of jungle and they're not warded, and I'm like, and I catch up to them, melee, chomp, you know. Oh no, they're planning on getting away. Boom. Cool. Alright. So that's all his abilities. Now for the optimal combo. What is the optimal combo? Oh, I forgot to mention his ult. My bad. So his ult, what does his ult does? His ult is Crushing Maul plus a suck in. So he sucks him in, and then when they're close, he bites them like It heals him, and it also does damage. And on top of that, when you execute somebody, because it has an execute. Let's see if I can get steel low enough. See that? Executes them. When it executes them, the healing is increased by 1.5 times. Also, when I execute, I get 5 physical power and 5 magical power. So, you want to execute all the time with this guy. As soon as you get this ult, like Zarus, you know when Zarus goes in like, oh, boom, arena. He's the same, but you want to execute. So it's like, oh no, Carrie's about to get a kill. No, you ain't. Nom, nom, nom. Steal it. Steal it every time. That way you're tankier, and trust me, tanks are more frustrating late game while ahead than a squishy late game and not ahead. You feel me? If they catch up and a squishy's ahead, you can still lose. If a tanks are all caught up and ahead, it's over, dude. Because ain't nobody destroying them. And plus, this guy's damage is crazy on top of it. Another quick little thing I want to talk about with him is combos. So finally getting into combos, what should you expect? You could either get in with your web or your jump in. It's up to you. But you want to hit your Crushing Maul first because of the shred armor. So either way, you want to get super close and hit them with this first. That way, you know their armor is shredded. Now with their armor is shredded, you want to throw the orb. And don't throw the orb straight. See, I did 264 damage. If you throw it on the ground and you hold them there, that almost did 1,000 damage. And remember, I'm all tank right now. I'm not damagey. So, shred. Boom, drop that. And when you drop that, why won't they just run away from there? That's when you can web, you know. Boom, 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 web. Just eats it. And plus, like, look how fast this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds. Now, ready? I'm going to drop it in my zone, and then I'm going to try to run out of it. 1, 2, 3. So I'm getting around, like, 3 seconds of that damage. 1, 2, 3. That's still 500 damage. Even if you don't root them in there. see why this guy's a maniac. And I forgot to go over his passive. So when you get to 100 stacks, you become awakened, where you see you get 5% damage mitigation and your abilities gain bonus effects while awakened. So when you're awakened and you do Crushing Maul, this sweet little move right here, when you are awakened, I'm mad, I'm awakened now, and I do this, I steal 40% of his armor away from him and give it to myself. If I use my you know, my good old web when I'm awakened, I have increased range. See how far I can go? I can go really far. Now, when I'm not awakened, I cannot even hit it from here. For his good old fireball, it increases how many times it ticks. It increases the total fireball count. Wait, it counts? Hold on. Hold on. Let's see here.
Your essence belongs to me.
Okay. So it goes out longer. You saw that? Okay. So that's what it does. It shoots more missiles out. I thought you got to shoot 2 for a second. I was like, am I reading that correctly? Yeah, so that's pretty much your passive. Now to get to the combos. I'm sorry, I said let's do combos, and I started talking, and then I yabbered about the passive. Okay, so once again, now that I got my haste on, you can either get in with your good old spiderweb root, or you can get in from the top, but you're gonna Crushing Maul, throw your thing on the ground, and then go crazy on them. Or you can shoot them from far away. Boom, 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 boom. Eat them up. You know, definitely try to get the crushing into it. Usually with Predecessor, a tip, because if you play Countess, Countess also has this tip. If you press both abilities at the same time, they kind of come out at the same time. So don't go, wait till the animation resets, then press it at the same time. And it will kind of throw it out at the same time. Let's see. Or you can see that. You could throw it out beforehand if you press Q and then Maul at the same time. It's kind of a little tricky. Already? He kind of gets it out at the same time. You lose a little bit of damage. And it's kind of tricky to get that timing. Like, quite a bit of damage, actually. But... ouch. That's crazy. Yeah, so combo wise, you just come in, Maul, boom, root, or you can come from the sky. Throw that first if you feel uncomfortable. If you ever feel uncomfortable about hitting this and this, just throw the orb first. Orb's safer. And then just go crazy. Either way, you're doing an insane amount of damage. Make sure you ultimate to finish him up, because the more you get with your ultimate, the more protections you get, which makes him even more annoying. Look how much health I got. I got 4640 with only 3 kills. Let's see, with this max build, I'm sitting at 145 physical and 116 magical. That is a lot of protection. So, let me know how you guys feel about Akeron. He's an absolute beast. If you got any other builds or any more tips and advice to cover, let me know. In the meantime, we're actually going to go over to his augments, because I totally forgot about his augments. But Austin, his augments! What about his augments? Trust me, his augments are mainly, you're just going to pick one, in my opinion. You can pick the other ones, but they're not as good, in my opinion. So once you pick Acaron here, where the heck is he? He's got Unstable Hunger. Instead of decaying over time, hunger regenerates over time and is not gained by hitting abilities. Additionally, awakened lasts twice as long. Death from above, you fire in a web, an additional web from the wall, so you can root them when you jump on them, or consume, now pushes instead of pulls. Most of the time, you're going to be using the web, because you're going to be dropping abilities and doing all this thing. You want to be awakened when you ult. So you really want to do that. Now, if you're just randomly collecting like stacks of awaken, it kind of dictates when you can go in. Because then you gotta wait. Oh, I gotta wait for my stacks. I gotta be awakened, then I can go in. It lasts twice as long, and yada 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 yada. So don't do that, okay? Remember, guys, pick the web augment, combos, build bruiser, go crazy, have fun.